The university application process. I have just completed my interview for the University of Cambridge and I am currently waiting on my decision from them. Now, I want to take the opportunity to talk about how I found the experience of applying to university generally. Let me first preface this by saying university admissions are inherently brutal. It is impossible for everyone applying to be admitted into the university that they want. The universities will judge you based on admissions tests, interviews, essays, and references your teachers write. And in England, we apply through a system that limits us to only applying to 5, making every choice valuable. My experience couldn't have been further from those college decision reaction videos you see with people crying over their acceptance or rejection. At every point within the process, from submitting my application to after my interview, I have been doubting myself, questioning whether I'm good enough. What if it was all just a fluke that I had got here? The extended wait times for feedback on anything heightened these feelings as I was left to mull over what I had just done for months. After completing my admissions test, I felt like I had already screwed over my application and that they would reject me before I could even get an interview. I was frantically checking my emails up to 30 times a day just to see if I had been invited to interview. I felt constantly on edge and overwhelmed by the situation I was in. Yet in the moment that I received my invite to interview, I felt nothing. No relief from the stress and pressure. It just felt like the moment when Sisyphus almost had reached the top of the mountain, but the boulder just rolled right back down. My feelings of stress and pressure were only amplified by this. Next was a part of the process that was more important than everything I had done previously. I chose to stop doing physical activity, as I told myself that I should be studying for the interview instead. This led to times when I would be in my room almost all of the weekend, only leaving to eat meals and get water. However, I then ended up finding ways to waste this extra time I had created on YouTube or other unproductive things, and in reality I hadn't really improved my productivity. I might have even decreased it from when I was doing other activities. Preparation for interview felt like an eternal slog. It was just looming over everything that I did, and I wasn't handling the pressure well. So I changed my mindset. The interview would be a fun experience with some clever people where we would solve some problems together. I thought about it this way throughout the interview, and it really changed my perspective on what was happening. A change in mindset is really the most powerful tool you have at your disposal. 2 days before my interview, I received my belated admissions test score. Initially, I had decided not to open it. However, I caved in later that day. The result I got was around average for an offer holder at the college that I had applied to, and it gave me a strange boost of confidence and validation. Yet it also made me feel like the stakes for the later parts of the process have risen again. I needed to live up to the score that I had achieved here. I decided to take the whole day off school for my interview to relieve pressure and allow myself to get a good night's sleep. The whole morning I just did nothing. My mind was occupied by the interview ahead and I didn't know what to do. I just sat there, getting increasingly nervous. I pressed the Zoom link and then it began. The interview started with a pre-reading exercise and I was reasonably confident in my ability to decipher what was asked. After working away on my own for 15 minutes, I was moved into another room with the interviewers. We started doing some questions, which I don't think I'm allowed to share at this point in time. However, I felt as if I was mainly on my own, and that there was little advice or hints given by the interviewers. In the moment, I was pumped with adrenaline, and it felt fun solving the problems. However, hindsight is 2020, and my feeling that it had gone okay after the interview soon descended into my fixations on everything that I had done wrong and what I could have done better. From an early point within secondary school, it had been ingrained within me that Cambridge was a place to go if you wanted to achieve a lot in life. Over the admissions process, I have questioned this belief that I've had for so long, and I wonder if it's all worth it. At the end of the day, a university is just a billion-dollar corporation that makes many young adults take loans that they will never pay off. Being fixated on one particular university is just like brand loyalty at a supermarket. You pay a higher price, but ultimately it turns out almost the same as other products. Watching my friends drop out at stages in the process consolidated the harsh reality that the majority of people's dreams stay as dreams. It also opened my eyes to see the more selfish part within everyone due to the personal nature of university applications. Perhaps they are meant to be this stressful and difficult, and that it is part of their test to see if you can handle the pressure on top of your normal life. At this point in time, there is nothing left for me to do except wait. I feel like my interview went okay, nothing especially bad or good happened. I feel mentally in limbo waiting for this decision and pausing everything else in my life. Now we should focus on what lies ahead. For you, it's a stick figure on your screen for the next 20 seconds. But in a more philosophical sense, the rest of your life lies ahead, and it is time to leave what has happened behind. We must move on and focus on reality. To make a difference in the future, we must take action in the present.